Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is a bit different. This is not the usual division build video that I upload. This is about thumbnails and Photoshop mostly. Today I will be showing you guys how to make thumbnails on YouTube because earlier when I woke up, my friend messaged me and he was saying that this guy is using our thumbnails. Like what? So I checked the channel, this is my channel right here. I've been using this design. I made this design. You know, I'm a graphic artist. I'm an illustrator. I have an Instagram, but you know, that's for another video. But I've been using this design, which I made 9 months ago, according to this like old stuff here. This is like the oldest video. 9 months ago, I came up with this design. All right, this is original. This is mine. I made it from scratch. All right. So earlier today, my friend messaged me and he linked me this channel, which is Soldier, which is funny because he is also a Division content creator, a small one too, like similar subscriber amount. As you can see here, it is, let me zoom in, it's 818, right? Me, I'm like almost the same, it's like 984. This one is like also small like me, 881. But as you can see here, I will zoom in. The thumbnail is very familiar, right? See, I mean, is it the same thing? Yeah, it's the same size. It's a bit zoomed in, but you can see here. Let me show you. Okay, so here we are, and this is my desktop, and this is like one of the folders there. And let me show you here because it's kind of hard to show the detail that I'm trying to explain on the design, which is this one. This is the Hazard Ninja thumbnail that I made, and you can see here this is like a design I put here. This is a bunch of gradients, you know, just if you know how to like do gradients in Photoshop, you do that. And that's like the one thing that I noticed in the thumbnail. It's really easy to spot, and we have this shape here and this one here, right? This color, the secondary color that I usually use, and also this shape, you know, this shape of this diagonal black and like 50% opacity black underneath it, right? Also the shape here, this diamond here, this thing here. And let me show you this one. It pretty much uses the same thing, right? And what this YouTuber did, Soldier, I'm not sure if he has a designer or someone that he assigned to do this one, but basically what he did is he print screened the thumbnail and just used it here, right? You can see exactly the same shape of everything, right? And instead of like using the regular font that we have here, which is this one, he decided to put a box on top. All right, I already messaged this YouTuber telling him that, you know, if you could change the thumbnails, because he did update the his channel a lot. Like a lot of the videos are updated with thumbnails like this one. Even going back 2 years ago. Let me scroll down here, right? This is like the oldest video. And this one here is 2 years ago. Let me zoom in. Hopefully I can zoom in, right? It kind of like ruins the, once you zoom in, it's kind of like changing the, but anyways, you can see it here. 2 years ago, the Division 2 Assault Rifle Meta build, right? And it's using pretty much the same thumbnail, right? He did update this because I made the thumbnail 9 months ago. You can see the oldest video that I uploaded, this one here, which is, we will scroll down here. This is like the first time I made the thumbnail, which was 9 months ago. So he updated the video that he has 2 years ago. So he had the effort of like doing that, and some of the thumbnails are updated as well. Like for example, this one, 1 year ago, and this one 1 year ago. So, man, like if you could, Soldier, can you change all the thumbnails? Because you know, I'm gonna make a thumbnail for you, and you know, for other people that are, you know, curious about like how to make thumbnails in Photoshop. I could do that, but just kind of don't use this one because this is like exactly the same shape, you know. Let me see, let me show you guys. It's the diagonal thing here with this diamond shape with the black and the 50%. It's pretty much a print screen, right? The only thing that is different is the font. Instead of like, he didn't even change the font of the Division 2 here. It's the same thing. He did change this one. And he did change the icon, but putting something here, the box here, and changing the picture isn't enough. And how do I know that? Because I work in graphic design for more than 10 years, right? Web design, graphic design, like video editing and all that stuff. Like this is my professional job, and you can't do this because the company will sue you. You know, the big companies. We are just small YouTubers, so it's not a big deal. But I just wish that you could like update it. I would give you a template. We will work on another design so that I appreciate. Don't get me wrong that I appreciate. I receive some comments before that, you know, the thumbnail's really nice, and I understand that. That's like, because that's my job. You know, I make designs. That means like I do make nice designs because that's my job for more than 10 years, like I said earlier. And if you happen to see this design on other channels, that's probably my other channel. For example, I have here a Fortnite channel. If you guys don't know, it doesn't have any subscribers. It has like 13 subscribers, but I'm planning to change this into a Diablo channel. So if you happen to play Diablo, maybe, you know, check this channel out once I make this a Diablo channel. But I won't delete the Fortnite videos. I'm gonna leave it here because I just like the thumbnails. Right? It looks really nice. Although I did change it a bit. What I did here on my other channel is that I flipped the instead of the color being on the left, in this one it's on the right side, and I added some like breaking of glass here, and pretty much the same thing, you know. This is just like a low effort videos that didn't really get any views. It's like look at this, like 15 views, 1 views, and 28 views. But you know, this was like a month ago, and it has like 13 subscribers. But yeah, if you like to subscribe there and you know, leave a dislike or a like. Okay, so here we are at Photoshop, and these are like the recent files that I've opened or worked with. And let's open up one of these files, and let me just show you that I am a graphic designer. This is not a template that I bought. I have like hundreds of designs that I already did. This is like one of the recent ones, but these are all individual files. All right, these are, you can see the files here or the layers. It's not even organized. Nothing is named. You know, it's like layer 21, layer, you know, layer. I didn't even put them on folders. If you know Photoshop, you could like, what is this guy? It's so unorganized. Like you know, it's not. But you know, I usually fix the layers once it's completely done and finished. All right, so this is like one of the designs, all right, web designs that I did. And let's open up the Division thumbnail. All right, so for this video we're gonna take my design because some people like it, but I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna try to edit it to be different, that it doesn't really look that you print screened and copied it. All right, so okay, so here we are in his page, and I'm looking at the thumbnail, and he didn't even remove the sparks or the embers that I put in my version. All right, you can see here, if you look closely, I wonder if I could zoom in even more. Like, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see that yellow spark there near the white. He didn't even remove that. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This one here, this is a JPEG version of the file. It's not like a layered version. This is like the JPEG, and he didn't remove the sparks here. All right, this yellow thing here, as you can see here, it's like flat. This spark came from a layer. For example, this one. This is a separate layer that I put, and usually this is a spark like this one. As you can see here, this is a spark ember that I put, and it wasn't present on the other thumbnails, so I think he got the thumbnail from this version, this orange version of Hazard Ninja. You know, it may use the same shade of orange even. Now this is a spark or a ember that is just like overlapping the orange part here. But what he did is basically, let me show you what. You use lasso tool and you just like do it again and made it white, right? And you change this one here. Again, this is like me editing a picture. If you print screen any thumbnail in YouTube, and you could, this is like what I think he did, right? Manually edit it like this, you know, put black there, and of course you're gonna cover this one because, you know, there's like a different icon for different videos, and he didn't even change this. Now you could remove this if this is a JPEG by, you know, you could like use the clone tool here on the left side, or you could just color pick this orange and put it there, you know, clean it, you know, you could clean it like that. Or you could use the like I said, you could use the patch tool and or the clone tool here. Page again. He put a box here, right? A big box, and he did put the picture there and change the font. Okay, so what you want to do is, first off, is you change the font. All right, you change the font. Don't use the same font. And he did it. He didn't really use the same font. He did use a different font throughout the design. Unfortunately, he did left this division to the same, which is like, oh, come on, like, you don't do it, right? Don't do that. So let me go back to Photoshop and let me pick a couple of fonts. Okay, so here we are back again. I already chose some fonts here. For this one, we are using Bebas Nue. In the status effect for Elmo Shock, we are using Azonix. For this one, the Shocker font, also Bebas Nue. And lastly, this one is also Bebas Nue. All right, this is a regular. This is the font that I chose. Is this the best font? No, but this is just a sample, you know, of like how to not copy, or how to copy other designs. Actually, you know, if you take inspiration, if my boss wants me to copy a website, I don't print screen it and just like change the colors, you know, I will get fired. So if someone, you know, asks you like, make something like this, but of course, you know, don't let people know that you took inspiration or, you know, you stole the design or print screen it. This is like the tip, right? First off is you change the font to something very different. If the design is using a very thin font, maybe change it up to maybe a thicker font, right? Maybe a bold font. If the design is using all caps, maybe change it to like lowercase. Unfortunately, I don't think this font has lowercase. Let me check. Maybe there is. No, it doesn't. So there you go. This is the first step, right? First step is the font. Make sure that you're using a different font and font weight. Okay, so for the second part, we want to use not the same shape. You know, if the design is using, don't print screen it. Right, the first step is not to print screen the design. First off, don't try to use the same thing. If I'm using this angular gradient here, don't use it. You know, use maybe a circular pattern. You know, like something like this one, like that. For example, like that. This one. And make it 20%, something like this. You know, it's not as angular as the other one, which is this one. Do something like that. You know, you could duplicate this multiple times and use it for your own design, you know, something like that. You know, I'm not using this. I'm just showing that if you want to copy something, don't print screen it. All right, don't do that. Just make your own. But for now, like I said earlier, for this step, the most important thing is not to use the same shape. All right, so we're not gonna be using this. Let me hide this really quick. But this shape here, all right, this two shapes here, which is the pink one and the blue one, don't use this. Right. So what I will do is I will first off I will hide these and actually just pick the same color and let me hide it first. And let me do something else, like maybe a triangle, a simple shape like this, right? Something like that, guys. Looks pretty good, right? Is this the perfect one? Because the way that you do this perfectly is by chopping this off, right? Make sure that it's like that shape, and you duplicate it, and you flip it vertically, and you do this. all right, and merge it and make sure that it's centered on the top here. That will make it centered, and you do something like that, all right? For example, we duplicate the same thing, but this time we're gonna fill it with white. So this is white, and we're just gonna control it. This is very quick. This is not a masterpiece or anything, but just a I'm gonna transform it to a bit of a different shape, and I'm gonna transform it like that, and I'm gonna stretch this image here like this, so kind of like that. All right. Okay, so that's a different one, right? We're starting to get there. Let me fill this with the pink. Okay, so not so bad, right? We have a different font. We have the same vibe of this blue and this thing here. Same vibe, but a different design. That's what I'm trying to get, is that you don't want to print screen something and use it. You want to get something and make it your own. I think this font is too big. I think the most important thing here is the Elmo shock. So I'm gonna make it a bit lower or smaller. And I'm a huge fan of like making the fonts far apart. So what you want to do is go here in the fonts menu and change the width to maybe something like 200, and that will make the words or letters far apart. I like this one. And just to be consistent, I would duplicate this instead of like doing the same thing. And just to be more consistent, I would delete the shocker here and put the shocker font here, shocker, right? And make it white, right? So that's it uses the same font and even the same placement as the. I haven't really changed the place of this one yet, right? But it's already looking very different from the usual thumbnail that I have. If someone uploads like something like this, I would still be able to say that, oh yeah, he took my design because the same shape of this one here, So I'm gonna change this into something else, maybe a circle perhaps. This is just a quick design, guys. This is not a masterpiece or anything, but is that enough? Let me delete this one. Is that enough? I don't know. It still looks very similar to my design because the placement is still the same. So what you want to do is probably move it a bit. I will move it upwards. All right. And at that point, maybe this one, you could get away with it. Let's see here. You know what, this type of thing where I did put a lower opacity and the division too, it's still very similar, and I would probably still I'm okay with that, but it's still, oh man, this guy stole the design, So I'm gonna delete this, and instead of like using that, I would change it completely. We're gonna put the division to somewhere else. I'm gonna put the shocker punch, right? Shocker punch, right? Something like this, and this angular here, maybe change it. At this point, we could delete it and delete this as well, and change it to something else like this one. Since we made it like the angle is pretty much, I'm gonna fill this with black like so, and as you can see, it kind of lines up with the blue because I hold shift. That's why it's the same angle. It looks really nice, right? And instead of like using the circle, I don't think it matches the entire design because the design is kind of like angular. So I mean, some people might like this. It actually looks nice. Yeah, you know what? Let me take that back. It looks pretty nice. But this looks pretty nice, man. And Soldier, if you want to use this one, feel free to print screen this and use this. Just don't use my design right now, or someone else. You could like use this. I think this is looking pretty good, but it's not yet finished, guys. Let's try to tweak it a bit more. Just that we make let me save this because it's looking pretty good. So let me just save because never mind. for that 150% bonus damage, how about we put something here on the other side? And since it's like the highlight of the thing, how about put it in red, you know? And we use this font because we've been using this font, which is Bebas Nue, a lot. How about we change this to something else and use this font again, Azonix, and 150%. Okay, so here we are back again. I was able to find this picture of the rogue agent, generic division rogue agent image. I think it looks pretty good. Also, I did a few changes. I made the font a bit smaller. I think the previous font was too big. One thing that I noticed is that I think I don't like the AR build. No, it's a bit too short. I would go for something a bit more long, like a assault rifle. I would, if we add build, that would make it even longer, so it doesn't fit that well. But sometimes you just have to do these type of things just to make it look good. So yeah, something like this. But this is just following the colors of Soldier, which is orange, white, and black. But if I was the one to be like, in charge, I would probably use another color, for example, something like this. But this doesn't work well because it's kind of like hard to see underneath or over the orange. So I would change this to something else. How do we do that? Let's just bring up the hue and just change it to something else, something like something that stands out over orange, like the New York Knicks, like blue, something like that, right? So since we're here, might as well change this one into blue. This is just me just testing things out. Something like that. This is a bit hard to read because this is like white text on this light color. So if you want, you could go to blending options and put some drop shadow there and make it spread like that. The distance is quite close and the size is not that large. Just play with it. Make it dark, or even make a stroke. It's up to you. But something like that, makes it a bit pop out more. You could also do the same thing if in the other fonts, for example, this one. Change this. I would lasso this, right? Angular lasso, and I would make this a dark blue, right? Maybe something like a darker blue. And we could use gradient and just like do that, right? And that would add a bit of like I don't know if you could see it, but kind of like a angle, 3D lighting to it. Also, you could add a little bit of light here, same thing, and lasso tool it and choose this color, but this time we're gonna pick white, or like a lighter color. I'll also change this brush into something else. This is like how I color my drawings, something else, and it looks cool, right? It looks 3D. Now for Soldier, feel free to use this one. If you want, I could send this PSD to you. Feel free to use it. Just don't use my current thumbnail because that's like the only thing I have, man. That's like the only thing that is like my branding. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. Dislike if you dislike this video, and I'll see you on the next one.